Let me see what's on.
Are you actually transferring?
Yeah.
Right now? Okay.
It's not showing. Hello, anybody there? If anybody showed up yet for this first live, go ahead and make a comment. I see there are some people on here, so just go ahead and say hi. Good evening. Jessica. I'll wait for a few people to get on here. And then anybody's got questions or anything else, just put in here. If not, I'll just start talking here in a second. Hello, Great Texas Homestead Adventures. How are you tonight? Well, this is great. I'm happy to be able to do this lives and share my experience of growing microgreens and growing the business. So, yeah, thrilled to be here. Just waiting a few more minutes here, a few more moments to see who's all going to show up tonight. Being the first one, never know. Show you here. This is our farmers market setup. It's one of the downtown here we had that we set up with the menu board over on the left-hand side or right-hand side, whichever way you're looking at it, and all the products there. Got an up-close picture here of all the products that we have. We had set up there. We did it. This is the time we were doing some live trays, 5x5, selling our broccoli and kale and the radishes. There's probably micro mix up there, I believe. All right. All right, so I'm just going to get in, start answering some questions people put on the YouTube channel here. Start with that. And one question I got was the top 5 microgreens that we use. The top 5 microgreens that we use are speckled peas. Why we use speckled peas is green peas are just too short, too many tendrillers on them. Didn't like them. They didn't look good. Want good looking product. Dun peas are plain, lanky, and not enough tendrils on them. Restaurants really don't like them. Green peas are kind of okay with, but they really do like the speckled peas more so. And they go really good in our salad mixes, the speckled peas. We chop them up into thirds and put them in our salad bases, the speckled peas. Number 2 for us is the sunflowers. Great taste. Kids love them. They're great for sampling at the markets. It's always a good taste. Everybody likes it. Also great for our salad bases. Go in the sweeter dishes, teriyaki stir fry, and I love them in my butter pecan ice cream. I know it's different, but feel like you're eating healthy if you're eating the butter pecan ice cream with sunflowers in it. But I just found that out. Just threw them in there one day. Knew they were sweeter taste, so really like them. And then of course broccoli is the number 3, but that is easy to sell. The most one that's got the most studies done on it, so it's easier to tell people about and get them to look at them studies. And obviously it's the most healthy for you. Everybody should be eating that broccoli. Then the 4th one is the radish, the Triton purple. Great color, big variety. Then some other radishes. There's no bitterness to it. And these 4 are in our sampler box that we do. So these are the main 4 that we use along with the micro mix, our spicy micro mix from True Leaf. And then number 5 is arugula, because a lot of great peppery flavor. It's quick harvest. I actually just did a video on this if you haven't seen it. today. Just released it, so go check that video out. But it harvests in 10 days, and it's got great flavor, great peppery. I love it on steak and pork chops and stuff like that. So, so what's your favorite microgreens? Anybody want to put that in the comments? What your favorite microgreens are, and what you love to use them for? And then, unless anybody's got any questions or comments or anything, I will keep moving along. Thanks, Great Adventure to Homestead, for the great. Looks great. Appreciate that. Give it a few moments here. All right. Going to go ahead and talk about our marketing. Our number one marketing is through Facebook and Instagram. That's what we use mostly. That's for our home delivery push that we do. We also reach out to the restaurants and chefs through Facebook, Instagram mainly on that one, the ones that do have the Instagram. And it works great to get into at least give them samples and talk to them and everything else. When we do run ads, we don't spend a ton. We dial in exactly where we want to target and their location, demographic. Facebook has a great tool for that, obviously. Everybody should know that, how great Facebook is for stealing all our information. Great for marketers to be able to market to you, but just don't blanket a whole city. Kind of get in that radius. That way it's not too expensive for you. Just to hone in on that for sure. If anybody new is arriving, just go ahead and say hi. And as we'll keep going along here, unless we get questions, we get any questions, I will go ahead and answer them the best I can for you. So that's our marketing that we started with. That's our number one. That's how we started with our home deliveries, which was our main source to begin with, along with a company called Market Wagon. It's kind of like a Facebook. It's kind of like a market, farmer's market. They kind of online. They kind of make the deliveries for you. So everybody gets to go on there and sell their products, and then they pick it. You take it to one central location, and they deliver it out for you. Kind of works good. Like it a lot. They don't do a ton of business there, but we're going to that area anyway, so we're just dropping stuff off. Feel like it's extra money. So number two, obviously, is farmers markets, though, that we go to. It's a great place to promote your product and get out there to the community, let them know who you are. They know that who's giving their products, even if they're not going to buy from you there, or maybe they buy from you one time and then they go, if you sell in the grocery stores or a Market Wagon, then they know who they're buying from, and then they are getting the product. So it's a great way to get your product out, sample. If you can sample, your sales will be tremendously different than if you cannot sample. So I highly recommend sampling, whatever you got to do to be able to do that. I know in this new world we're living in, some places don't allow sampling. But if they do it or get your degree, our local health department makes us pay something and go through a course. But find out what you got to do to make sure you can sample for sure. All right. See a few more people are jumping on here. Can you go ahead and say hi? Oh, there we are. Let's see. JD, can you do more close-up view of your boxes for a minute, please? Yes, I certainly can. There you go. Let's zoom in on there for you. And then I got one here. I will show you. This is of the micro mix there. This is a really close-up view for you. Scroll through here a little bit. Kale. We do the red Russian kale. This is our farmer salad that we do. This is one of our salad blends. Fava bean, which is good. Buckwheat goes into our farmer salad. Let's go back this way. There's a radish. micro leaks. Yes, that is real popcorn. We grow it in a total blackout room, which is behind me. So it is stays without the green and it stays yellow. So yes, that is really our popcorn. And we get our popcorn from a local farmer here in our area, and it's a really good popcorn. All right, good. Keep growing. This is our crunchy salad. Arugula, ultimate green. What do fava beans taste like? Fava beans taste to me between a sunflower and a pea. It's kind of got a little bit more green to it. It's a little bit more bulky than any of them holds up. But it's kind of a cross between a sunflower and a pea to me. All right. Popcorn's a really good one. It's one of the restaurant's favorites. They really like it. We can stack it up on dishes and have it stand up on a dish and stick it in there because it's got that hard base on it. So it stands up. It's got a nice yellow appeal to it. If you grow it right and you grow it in dark. So. Oh, no, they are not starchy. The fava beans are not starchy at all. Definitely not. So, yeah, that's our wheatgrass here. We do our wheatgrass in the 5x5 containers and sell them at the grocery stores and Market Wagon and Farmers Market as well. And we promote it. Great for pets and juicing. Most people around our area is going to use them for pets. So that's what we use them for and market them. And we sell a 5x5 container of wheatgrass for $5 retail. No problem, Jay. No problem at all. Glad to help. Anybody else got any other questions? All right. Just to keep going along here until there's any other questions. Our overall business income streams are spread across our home delivery, restaurants, farmers markets, and grocery stores. So obviously home delivery is home delivery. You guys know what you can do there. That's marketed through Facebook and Instagram. Restaurants is contacting through Instagram. So anyway, yeah. Overall business. So we do grocery stores is our biggest probably clients. How we date the products. We date our products. We don't use a Best Buy or Harvest date. It just seems to confuse the customer. So we do what we do is a Julian date. You can look that up how to do that. But the Best Buy and the Harvest date always confuse people, and it gets too close to that. Best Buy and the product's really good still, because then products, if you put it 10 or 14 days, sometimes they last a good 3 to 4 weeks in the coolers. So we found people stopped buying them at that point. So we kind of just went to a Julian date. Products last great, and people buy them more up to the dates and everything else. So that's what we went to. And the grocery stores love it because they're not getting rid of products and throwing it out when it's still good just because it has a use-by date on it. But check your local codes. That's what we're allowed to do here. But check your local codes to see that's available in your area to do that. So, and if you're going to go to the grocery stores, make sure you get barcodes and UCB codes. You can buy them online easy. Get one per item. Don't try to use one per every product you got. Use one different one per item. They're fairly cheap. You can find expensive ones out there, but you can find some cheap ones too. And they work. This is good. They're the same thing, so there's no problem. When we go to the grocery store, we rotate all the products for them, and make sure it's a good product still. If not, we take it off the shelf, communicate with them what we're doing, and they're all okay with it and everything else because they obviously want to show the customers good products too. So just make sure that you're doing that if you can. That's my suggestion. Do whatever you need to do, but my suggestion is the more control you have of your product, the better. So yeah, with there's an ultimate green that we do. The ultimate green has it's kind of the powerhouse. It's got the sweet pea, the arugula, and the kale in it. Just enough arugula to give it a little bit of a spice to it. So, and then the kale for the great iron and everything else, and peas in it. So that's our ultimate green that we do. We do them at 2.5 ounces, and we sell them at $5 as well. They still good price point for us. And then the crunchy salad right here. This is our crunchy salad. So yeah, this one is a sunflower, sweet pea, and broccoli mix in it. That's my favorite salad there for sure. And then the salad booster we got here. Salad booster is the sunflower is the broccoli and the kale mix. So there's a little bit different taste buds on that. And I don't think I have a picture of the rest of them. Nope, don't have that one. So, yep. So that's the ones we use in our grocery stores as mixes and everything else. So, any questions or anything by anybody? Want to learn more about anything in particular? What are you looking for? So yeah, go ahead and ask questions, guys. All right. So go ahead and guys, why did you start your business? Why did you get into microgreens or growing microgreens for yourself, or why did you start growing microgreens and selling them? I'd like to know what everybody else is doing and why you did it. Interested in learning more about your marketing spending, where and how much. All right. So the marketing spending, we spend not a great deal on the marketing end for the home deliveries right now, just because we are on the grocery stores a lot. But we're spending about $75 a week, and we're targeting that marketing. We found out when you don't target that marketing, it's the same people seeing the ads over and over again that are not even interested in buying from you. They're just seeing the ad again. And you're getting charged every time somebody sees that ad, even if it's the same person again. So we target in that market and try to go for people who are more in that demographic of what we're looking for. After you run a few ads, you get to understand that. But on Facebook, we're spending about $75 a week, $300 or so a month, and we get that return tenfold. All you got to do is get a couple customers off that stay with you for a year. If you're selling them $20, you're making that, back tremendously. You're making over $1,000 on that one customer. So if you got one customer off of $300 even, it's a great return. Now, not everybody's going to stay, obviously, but definitely over time frame, we've seen that people stay on for sure. Are you marketing only to direct consumers? For the Facebook, we are only marketing pretty much to direct to consumers for the home delivery. That's what the ads that we are running. But we use Instagram to reach out to restaurants, grocery stores. We just call and go in and talk to them. So that's mostly our marketing is directly that we paid marketing, I would say. directly to consumers. It doesn't take a lot of money to make money in this, for sure. So yeah, I would definitely spend the money. Great Texas Homestead. How long have you been doing it, and are you selling yet? And how long have you been doing it, and what are you doing? What are you doing with what's left? The roots. I'm assuming you're talking about the trays that are left, the soil down at the bottom after you harvest. Is that what you're talking about, JG? Just the soil that's left after you harvest? So if you're talking about, yeah. So what we do, we are very fortunate. We already had chickens when we started the microgreen business. So we just take the empty trays, dump them out into the compost, and the chickens will take care of them and scratch them up and recompost it for us, basically. And we turn over that compost, and we use that in our market garden. So that's what we do with it. So if you don't have chickens, I should maybe find somebody who has chickens to give it to them, trade them off maybe for some eggs. Everybody with chickens would love to probably have the product to do that with. And if not, some compost areas take it in some areas. We'll take it. I think Donnie Greens dumps it at a composting facility now. So you can look at that for your area. But get chickens. That's my suggestion. Get chickens. What sort of growth plans do we have for next year? Our next year goal is to grow 4 grocery stores a month and 5 home deliveries a month. And then obviously continue doing farmer markets and stuff like that to get out there and everything else. But for sustainable business, that's our growth plans over the next year. So we're looking to bring on, and we got one big client that might turn into all of that for us all at once, but we'll see. So we're working on that, and if that one hits, then we'll be definitely growing instrumentally. So for sure. Definitely goals of money wise. If you want to go money wise, we're doing about 8,000 right now. We're looking to get that to 10 by the business coming in by the end of December. That won't be all of it in December when we get the money, but by the time it's contract signed, everything else, $10,000, and then growing $2,000 a month from that. So. Great Texas Homestead Adventures. We're just starting out. Actually been focusing on pasture poultry this year, but love the micros and looking to expand next year. And yes, love chickens. Chickens love the harvest trays. They go crazy when we bring them out. I don't know if you do sunflowers, but I just take the trays out and dump them over, shake them. Sunflowers fall everywhere, and the chickens go crazy and eat up all the sunflower seeds and the sunflowers that are stragglers that fall off and everything else. So, and they love and they know when the sunflowers are coming. So how much poultry do you, how many chickens do you have? Great Adventure Texas Homestead. Great Texas Homestead Adventure. Say your name right. We currently have 35 chickens. We just added 16. We had 19 before and just added 16 more chickens on. Chickens are definitely a fun thing to have. Did anybody start with any courses or buy any courses or anything like that? Curious of how you guys started and learned everything. Or was it just straight YouTube? Josh, welcome. Thanks for joining us. Mike, do you approach chefs? Yes. If so, what are good tips on beets? I'm 18 days and have a small, weak-looking leaves. Beets are definitely a challenging crop. I won't lie. That's been a challenge one for us. We were selling to chefs. We had to grow down. Temperature changed through the summer. I think that's what it was, and it kind of made it go a little wonky and everything else. Although we keep the temperature and humidity the same in here, but it still probably made some difference there. So we are currently stopped selling the beets, and we're in trials again to see what we need to do on how to grow them better and more consistently. But they did take 3 to 4 weeks to grow. They are a long-term crop. And that's another reason why we also stopped. It just doesn't fit into the model and the space we have for shelves right now to fit in that model of 3 weeks. We try to keep it under 2 weeks at most, 14-day crops. So we just switched the chef. He's going to take our kale because we let it get to more of the true leaf, just as it's popping out, the true leaf, and it's got that kind of nice look on it. Looks like a kale leaf. They like them, and they're going to take that along with arugula, kind of make up for the beets. We did charge more, but it's just not worth it, the time frame that it takes to make them and everything else, and the challenges we have with them. So I would, beets are a challenging one. We'll get them down though, just like we got the arugula down. So we will get it down. But give it some more time, Joshua. It may just be 21 to 28 days for you to go. Did 150 broilers. Wow, that's a lot of chickens. That's awesome. We have laying flock about 40. That's good. And 6 ducks. I haven't got the ducks yet. Our ducks as messy as everybody says they are. I don't know if I want to have that much of that. If you'd round me, I'd buy the chicken meat from you for sure. Love good fresh home chicken meat. Joshua started with the Curtis Stone program, Blueprint. We did as well. And we just dived into it big time. So, Joshua, when did you get it? How long have you been doing it? Straight YouTuber. That's good. There's a lot there. I do believe in courses and how much they do help get you going faster. But you obviously can learn a lot of good information on there. Our YouTube channel. It's got a lot of good information as we build it and put more of it out there. But and we will be putting more on the business side of on the YouTube out there. So if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do that because more of the business stuff will be on there. We're just getting through all our How to Grow To series, and then we'll be starting on that more so also along with it. So we are getting ready to do edible flowers. That is in the plans for 2022 as well. Along with probably some herbs and stuff as we grow in space. So edible flowers, herbs are on there. We do also have a small market garden that we do. So let you guys know, mainly lettuce right now and root vegetables like beets, radishes, carrots. And we are getting ready to, a friend is going to help us out. He's got some land they're not using and give us about 3/4 of an acre more to use. So we will be doing more of that and have more of that videos on YouTube as well. So yes, ducks are super messy. That's what I heard. So yeah, maybe we'll wait on them. 2 weeks ago, Joshua. Nice. Welcome to the microgreen growing business then. Where's everybody from? If you guys tell me in the comments where you guys are from. We are in central Illinois, in a town about 100,000 people. Not very big, but definitely can grow microgreens in this area. We do sell to other cities that are a little bit, about an hour away each way, south and north. But that's what you got to do when you're living in a small central Illinois. Expand out a little bit and drive a little bit. Obviously, gas prices are a little bit of a challenge now, but we're figuring it out. Round Top, Texas. I am not familiar where that's at. Round Top, Texas. I have some family that lives down in Dallas area. And then also got a sister-in-law and brother-in-law that are down in they're down to the oil fields down in Texas. They're both welders, so got some people down in Texas. I don't know if that's anywhere around you or not at Round Top. It figures it doesn't fit. The root plants might be different to produce microgreens. Indianapolis. I love Indianapolis. One of my favorite cities. The root plants might be different to produce microgreens. Are you buying seeds that are specifically designed for microgreens growing? Where are you getting your seeds? And how are you using them? Are you just using seeds that are normal, meant to go outside, or what are you doing? Halfway between Houston and Austin. Awesome. Love Texas area. Love Texas. Texas is a beautiful place. Nice market gardening is tough. My salad always bolts. What kind of salad are you using, Joshua? 30 miles south of Chicago. Nice. Sticking to the burbs. That's the best place to be if you're in Chicago. That's for sure. Don't want to be any closer. But anyway, yeah. Yeah, the beets are definitely a slower growth. They definitely are more of a rooting one. I mean, you're going to be 21 to 28 days, probably more so. More so on the 28 days, depending on your growth area, but definitely there. So the salad mix that I use, Joshua, is Salad Nova from Johnny's. That's what we use, and we've never had any problems with it. Obviously, this time of year it grows much slower. We got it covered out there, but it's growing much slower. But Salad Nova is held up great in the heat here during the summer, and great in the cooler months as well to grow. So now Arugula will bolt really fast on you in the cold weather. Then when it starts getting in the 60s, 70s, it just bolts, boop, straight. So more in the heat on that one. It's in Kel. We've had obviously issues with it bolting a bit. That's in the heat. Kel more in the cooler months. So getting it on the ground when it's 40 to 50 and getting it harvest before the summer comes along for sure. Yes, we run 10-day crop cycle. We, for the most part, we do have a couple that are 14 days. The crops are going to look better at 14 days, can be. Our kale microgreens look much better at the 14 days. And that's what we went to on growing kale. It's a 14-day cycle. 10 days it's there, but it just doesn't have the prettiness of it, of that true leaf just popping up there. So definitely the kale's 14 days, and our leeks are a 14-day grow as well. But everything else pretty much is a 10 days. But other suggestion would be if you do have stuff bolting, and to make a little hoop house kind of thing, and put a shade cloth over top of that. That would kind of help with the bolting for sure. That would be my suggestion. All right. Thanks, Great Texas Homestead, for showing up tonight. Great talking to you. Hopefully see you again. Cherokee and Salad Nova. Yeah, them should be great varieties for around this area. I mean, they're obviously not too far from us. So, yeah, I would stick with them. Shade cloth definitely can help if they're getting too hot. If you got a really sunny area that you don't have any tree cover or anything like that, definitely could be an issue. So shade cloth would be a suggestion to try. During this time of year, we barely water the lettuce. Hardly ever, because the moisture in the ground is so good. In the cold weather, you don't want to get them frosted at all, so we hardly ever water them, maybe once every 2 weeks. Summertime, you're going to water, depending on the heat, at least 2 to 3 times a week. It could be more depending on the heat, and if it is more, don't fully water them. You just want to get kind of a sprinkle over the top of them to get them wet early in the morning, so then it helps protect them throughout the day with the heat. So that could also be helpful along with the shade cloth. Just give them a little bit of water in the morning, get some water on them, help protect them a little bit. So yeah, that's my suggestion. Just when you're planning out, like if you're doing like a 14 days or whatever else, you can manage that into this system. It's when you get the longer 21 to 28 day crops that it becomes probably a problem. And does it cost you room on your shelves? If you're limited on shelf space, you kind of want to stay away from the 21 to 28 days. If it 14 days isn't going to hurt you too bad, it can take up more space, obviously, because you've been in another week on there compared to the 7 days. 10-day cycle is only 7 days on the shelf. You got a full another 7 days on the shelf there. But we've managed it with our kale and everything else. Just get more racks, get more space if you got to. But yeah, you got to manage it for whatever your business needs are, for sure. And the leeks, the restaurants love that. Customers love the leeks. So we're definitely keeping that. And the leeks are a beautiful grow at 14 days, for sure. All right. Any other questions, comments? Joshua. Joshua, what made you buy the course from Curtis? Curious. The lights that we're using here, I will. These are the lights we're using from Amazon. I got you the link there. They are the Barina lights. Here, let me go here. I'm going to share this screen as soon as I get the right link for you. I think I might have put I got the right link there. So these are do this right. So these are the lights that we're using. The Arena plant grow lights, 252. We obviously get the 6 foot ones, 4 foot, should be 4 foot ones. Yeah, 4 foot ones. Sorry about that. And they're the T8s. So that's ones we use from Amazon there. You can check them out if you would like. Yeah, I've been intro to microgreens since Nate Dodson started videos on YouTube. Yep, I watched a lot of Nate Dodson as well. I just never pulled the trigger on the farming. Yeah, timing's got to be right. When your timing's right, that's when you pull the trigger. That's what I say. You never know when that time is, but you know it when you buy it, right? We also grow with one light. I know you're going to see a lot of information out there of doing 2 lights on a rack. We use one light per rack down the middle, per shelf on the racks. So you got 5 shelves, 5 lights. That we find the best. Now, we obviously got white walls, white floor, white ceiling. So they reflect a lot better and gives a whole overall room as well. So that may be it also. But I would definitely suggest that. Spacing on the shelves are 12 inches between shelf to shelf. 11 inches. No, sorry, 11 inches. They are 11 inches. And then obviously the light hangs down just a little bit. So it's probably about 10 inches from bottom to the light. It's about 10 inches. So that's our spacing on our shelves. And I think I got a picture of our shelves somewhere. Maybe not. But yeah, I get it in a second. We'll show you. We do have a picture of our shelves and the spacing of them and everything. So how much of the course have you done, Joshua? And are you liking the course so far? Have you used any of the marketing yet? If anybody else is watching, got any questions, go ahead and put a comment on. While I look up that photo. And Joshua, have you checked out Donnie Greens or David from Micro Acres at all? Them are the 2 other people that I follow as well, along with Curtis's Grow. Watched his, Nate Dotson. A lot of great ones out there. Just the Q&As only right now. Okay. Learning a lot of great information there. Definitely dive into the course, though. Helps out a lot. Especially check out the marketing and get you going. Are you just in the trial stages right now, trying to figure out what to grow and how long it takes you and everything else? It does. I do suggest that highly. Make sure that you're ready to sell when you're going to sell. You got the products down, how you're going to do it, what it's going to look like. You know what it is before you go out and sell to somebody. And if you're not ready, for sure. I'm trying to find that rack picture for you. Do you show up to the every other week videos? The Q&A they do? Is that the Q&A you're talking about? All right, I found the photo of the room for you. I'll share that there for you. You can see that. That's a video of our picture of our room there, of all our microgreens growing and everything. Thanks, JG. Make sure you check out all our videos on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and do that. Coming out new videos now every week, and get you guys learning how to grow and how we grow. So definitely check that out. Yes, they definitely get into sales and stuff, Joshua, and marketing and how to do it and everything else. It's great, great program for sure for that. That helps you get started. It's not where you're going to stay with. We've really not stayed with the marketing 100% of what they've done. We've taken bits and pieces and used it, but it's definitely a great starting point. It's not. It's definitely 11 inches. It may be the weird look at the photo, the angle of it or whatever, but it's definitely the 11 inches. 10 inches from the light to the bottom of the rack there. Between each shelf. Yeah, question and answers you're going to learn a lot from if you pay attention and listen and interact with them for sure. We do not use any fertilizer on our microgreens. We're told to do that kind of stuff. But we were told to do that in the beginning to add the fertilizer and everything. You get a lot of misinformation out there a lot of times, but they don't need any fertilizer. As long as you're using good quality soil, you're fine. You don't have to add any fertilizer to them. Good quality soil, lights. Now, if you're growing on coca coir, you're going to have to. But just use soil, good quality soil, and you'll be fine. They're only a 10 to 14 days crops. They don't need fertilizer. Well, it's always good to get more than you ask for, right? I guess for sure. Yeah, it's a great course. I'm glad we pulled the trigger and bought it. We did get it at the discounted price. I don't know if you did get a discounted price on it. They're doing that sale again, but definitely worth it. Probably worth it the full price. In doing all the programs and everything else with the bonjour, the links, all that stuff that they get into in that marketing stuff. Watch them videos. You'll be blown away by that. But also check out David from Micro Acres. He's where I want to be. So I'm following right behind him. We both were in the restaurant business not together, but we've both been in the restaurant business. He was in there for 15 years. I was 20 years before I left and started doing this. So definitely right with my alley. He's now growing 800 from starting in his basement. He's growing 800 trays a week, getting into other stuff. So definitely want to follow along with him and his programs and stay along with him. So he's where I want to be. So I use basic Pro Mix from Menards, but I do notice higher yield in the ocean solution. Yeah, but what's your cost and can you grow more with that? Using the ocean solution, everything else, you got to dip that out and everything else. You just can't use a hose to water, a nozzle to water. I do not want to water and dip out of a bucket of ocean water mix for 150 trays a week. It's just not sustainable for multiple trays. It's just you're not going to grow. You're going to be hamstringed by that. So if you want to grow and grow a lot of trays, have your grow room look like that, and a lot of trays, there's no way I would water all that with dipping in a bucket and doing ocean solution. So I would suggest if you got the Pro Mix, basic Pro Mix from Menards, that will do just fine for you. It is a good soil, and you will do just fine. You don't need to add the ocean solution to that. As long as you get good quality seeds, make sure you're getting good quality seeds from True Leaf, Mums, any of the reputable suppliers. You'll be fine. Good soil like Pro Mix is just fine, and it'll be fine. Don't get into that ocean solution stuff. Have you had any problems getting your Pro Mix this time of year? Because I've heard a lot of people having problems with getting that this time of year. Because we've had some problems sourcing some soil as well, and I've had to go to multiple different places to get the soil that we need. So you got to plan ahead, I guess, for the winter times for sure. Not a lot of people growing in the winter like us. All right. Any other questions or comments? Anybody want to see anything else we do? Well, that's good. They seem to have it stocked through the winter in your area. I know they like to move a lot of that stuff out, gardening stuff for Christmas trees and stuff. So I got to make room for that stuff sometimes, and they don't stock the soil. So from what I've seen in this area. Here's a slightly better picture. This is our first grow rack, guys. This is what we started growing on. One little old restaurant rack that we got for $50. Barely hold 4 trays. Didn't really hold them. They're kind of off to the edge over here, as you can see. Too much room for 3. But this is what we started growing on. We did grow with 2 lights because that's what we were told. But since then, painted the walls and did 1 light. But this is our first rack, our first grow. How much so much in retail? Persistence. Constantly going in and talking to them. If you're talking about grocery stores, going in and talk to them. Oh, sorry, you guys are probably not seeing that picture. I forgot to switch over. Everybody seeing that now? Forgot that. So persistence, Josh. Go in when you're ready. Make sure you have good packaging, good label, have your barcodes ready, all that stuff, and go in and be persistent with them. Give them samples. Call ahead. Set an appointment with them. Go in and talk to them. Tell them about you, why you're growing it, why you can help them out, and go back in at least once a month. It's not every 2 weeks. Even if they say no, keep going back in. The produce managers change out occasionally, and you can keep going in there. Make sure you go talk to the produce manager, and just keep on going in there. They eventually will sign on with you. Promise you. Everyone we went in and constantly gone into, we've got. Customers in and since the customers in Illinois, I feel like everyone around here doesn't care about healthy food, but it seems to be, you seem to be killing it. We've done good. You've got to go out and train your customers for sure, and teach them what they have to do. That's when I said get into the farmers markets is huge. To get in the markets and get the product sampled. One, it tells you what people want and what they like when they keep coming back and getting it. And then that's the product you can go. And start with small specialty grocery stores for sure. That way you, start within small specialty grocery stores like health food stores, any small grocery stores. They are better reputable. They will pay you quicker, usually on the spot. You get in a larger grocery store, sometimes you're going to wait 2 months to get paid. Usually a month. 4 weeks is typical. 4 to 5 weeks is typical. But you could wait up to 2 months to get paid. So I suggest going to the small stores first. You got to build up. That's what we did. We did jump into one big grocery store at the beginning, right after the small one, and it kind of failed. We didn't get them anymore after the first delivery, but we went back to them 6 months later. We got them again. Everything's been going great there. It's just a learning trial. But stick with the small stuff and scale up small and build up to that for sure. But yeah, we got a lot of home-based customers here. January is a great time to get into this. Everybody's going to be looking to eat healthy and get them hooked. After that Christmas lull and everything else, they're definitely going to look to try to eat healthy after they've ate that big Christmas dinner and Thanksgiving dinner over this season. So, yeah, definitely start pushing hard in January on stuff. And go to restaurants. Go to the small local juiceries, stuff like that, in the small restaurants. Them ones are the best ones to go to, for sure. Nope, this business has been great for us. It is me and my wife's full-time jobs. This is what we do, and we're growing the business more and more every day. And I said the goal is to have the $10,000 for the end of the month. in sales. I love to share. Love to help people out. I guess teacher nature at heart. Teach so many people in the restaurant business how to do things. Figured I might as well show them how to do the microgreens as well and share my knowledge. Can only help get most knowledge. So, if no other questions or anything, guys, ladies and gentlemen, if there's nothing else, I'm going to go ahead and sign off for today. Unless there's any last minute questions or anything, I'll be glad to stay and answer them. Thanks everybody for showing up to our first live. I appreciate it. And we will be doing these lives every Tuesday. If it's one person or 100 people that show up, I'm going to be here doing the live, teaching you any knowledge or any questions that you might have. Any questions you come along with over the next week, come back and ask them. I'll be here to answer them. And sure you check out the rest of our videos. If you haven't subscribed yet, do that. Like the videos. Make comments on the videos. They really help the algorithm of YouTube for us and helps push this information out to more people so they can get that information. So I really, really appreciate that. It doesn't seem like there's any more questions or anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and sign off for the day. I appreciate everybody coming in and watching and listening to me. And I enjoyed talking to you all. Have a great rest of your week, and we'll see you back next week. Have a good one.